Kristen, I wanted to start with you. This project finds you reuniting with Andy, and I imagine there's a level of comfortability there when you're collaborating with somebody that you've worked with in the past. How has this collaboration grown over time, and how has that trust allowed you to make the choices that we'll see on screen in this first season?
Um, I love Andy and I really love the way his brain works. I like I think we have very similar tastes. Sometimes our tastes are, I mean, they're different. We're different people, but like we both love Jurassic Park and think of it like not only as like a popcorn summer film, but like as like a piece of art. Like we both, like we're very united in certain ways. And I really like the ways in which he explores big themes about like disappointment or regret or commitment or all these things without ever letting you know that that's what he's exploring,
Yeah.
and doing it in a way that I've never seen, and in a way that is also like fun and weird and sad and huge and like intimate and small. I just really, I feel very at home in his writing or some. I just feel good there, and I trust him. I really like trust where he's going to go with things, even if I don't know where. So it was wonderful to be reunited.
Great answer and perfect to this next question. But William, the series is going to tackle so many timely and relevant themes through a comedic lens. Why do you think comedy is the perfect medium to tell this type of storytelling?
Well, because I think comedy is kind of everywhere. I feel like whenever I mean, I just walk out in the world and I see folks dealing with all sorts of stuff, and inevitably someone does something that is funny, even though they're not trying to be. Um, and and so I feel like to me it just feels the most natural way to respond to some of the big things that happen in a person's life. Um, and that's sort of my default. Uh, it's like it's funny. It's like I feel like like everyone that I'm close to, I find very funny. It's like something. It's something that it's like it's a need that I have, and so I'll like hang out with sometimes like some other people that through another friend or something, and nary a joke gets told in the entire hangout, and I'm just like, how are y'all still awake?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I don't get that. It's like I feel like the point of being around people and to some degree is to laugh and to release some of that tension, and to, even if it's to ruefully laugh at something or to point out some irony in some way. And so it's like there's something about it that just feels organic and real, when you just sort of let the comedy happen. And I think that a lot of the comedy in this show is not about set up, knock down joke. It's like just sort of behavior that is funny if if you just happen to see it. And it's that feels really human. It's like I love it when people are funny on accident. That's like the most surprising and best laugh that you can get. So it feels really appropriate to me.
Over the course of this first season, we're going to see the effect that time has on the relationship between your two characters, and the both of you handle that with so much nuance. How did you build that bond that we're going to see depicted on screen? That's a question for the both of you.
Well, Will and I this is our second time playing a couple in distress. So we've really like built this beautiful shorthand and this system of trust that like, I've said this a lot today. I like keep getting like, I said this last time too, like to repeat these things so many times feels crazy, but they like are absolutely so genuine. But it feels like that Lady Gaga meme. And like about the 100 people in the room. But I would like follow Will anywhere. Like I really just, he is such a special actor and such a beautiful human being. And I just feel, I just really trust him. And so to be able to build those things that are more nuanced, that like aren't necessarily like hit over the head with like, this is where they are, this is like, that it's sort of just the texture of like, these are two people that started in a golden place and have just they're like hanging on to something that has not been around in years, but are too afraid to leave each other. And that type of love that can happen in like where you sort of are in love with the history of your love, even though you've maybe outgrown each other, and how painful that is, and how it's like not, you know, I don't know, it's just like so gray, it's so ambiguous. And I just, I couldn't ask for a better person to explore that with, because like, I just really trust him, and yeah, would go anywhere he would go.
Yeah, the same goes for me. I feel like you know, it's like Cristin's like a really organic, interesting performer, and it's, you know, when you're doing the scene and you just get straight like something that just feels real, it just drops you in a really interesting way. And I mean, and I think the other part of it is, you know, we both like making jokes, making each other laugh, having a good time, um, and so I think that it's a little bit of like the scene and the subtext in the scene does a lot of stuff for us, but I think something that's possibly useful when you're dealing with the heaviness of a relationship that is sort of unraveling in its way is for there to be a piece of what you love about that other person.
Yeah.
That's in there. So it's not, so it feels like something is being lost. It's not like, oh, these two just need to split. It's like you're curious about how they figure this out. And so like that's sort of what I hope that people sort of root for them in that way. And I'm hoping that, you know, our sort of natural rhythms and sort of like how much fun we just have when we're hanging out, sort of informs the fact that we're playing these characters that are in a tough spot in their relationship.